Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Matt here, and today I have a very special parcel for me personally. In here is a current production Generation 6 Hinderer XM-18. Now, if you follow the YouTube channel, you would have seen that I have been posting a lot of firearms content lately, but I am still very much a knife enthusiast. I don't actively follow the knife scene anymore, and I don't actively trade and buy knives to try new things. But the XM-18 is really special to me because rewind the clock almost 14 years ago now, in 2006, 2007 was when the XM model came out and it was gaining a lot of popularity. And this Hinderer design was a big reason as to why I got into knives in the first place. And I've always absolutely loved the design. To this date, I've only actually handled one real Hinderer, and that was a Gen 3, I believe. And that was quite a few years ago now. These really aren't common where I live. I have had a bunch of Hinderer designed knives, so usually the ZT collaborations. I had the original 560 as well as the 550, which were, I believe, the first two Hinderer designs to come out from ZT. I sold those quite a while ago, but I still have this 562, which I kind of blinged out with some custom hardware. You can see there, but I feel like this is just, the perfect knife to open this parcel, which has my first real Hinderer. So again, I had the opportunity to pick this up, so I went ahead and did that. Back when I started to get into knives originally, I was still in school and I could not afford this. So yeah, it's been quite a few years, but we're gonna go ahead and open this up on camera. This just arrived to me and I ran home from the mailbox and just turned on the camera. So I did pick this up from Warriors and Wonders, by the way. So again, we're just gonna go ahead and open it up. Again, I'm pretty darn excited to finally handle my first true Hinderer knife. And if you don't know, of course, Hinderers were designed from the very get-go to be easily customizable. That's a big thing Hinderer wanted to do, was make his knives easy to customize, change out basically everything. So I did purchase some accessories, as you see here, which I will be swapping out very shortly. I think this is just the invoice. Yeah, that's just the invoice. So I'll put the box aside. Classic Hinderer box I've seen on so many videos now. Obviously this isn't going to be a review, this is just documenting my unboxing. But I can't tell you how many videos I've watched with this box in it, so I am super excited right now. Made in USA, of course. I have had a couple Hinderer pens because that was all I could afford at the time. I still have all three of them. I have two Investigator pens and one Extreme Duty pen. They all still get use. And the Extreme Duty pen is actually my main pen I bring with me, or I just leave it in my range bag. So you can see here, 2018 Blade Show Most Innovative American Design. And 2018, I believe, is when the Gen 6 came out, which feature the new tri-way pivot system. And you can tell I'm not opening the box because I want to build this up for myself, but here's the model I got, which is the XM-18 3.5-inch model, which is the most common. Spear point, tri-way pivot system, stone-washed bronze is the color of titanium frame lock that I got, and orange G10 is the scale. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this. I'm doing it towards myself because, again, this is a very special moment for me. Oh yeah. So here's the knife itself in the plastic baggie that most Hinderer products come in. All right, so of course the memory card filled up on me. I'm not sure exactly when I cut off, but I had just taken this out of the pouch and I was just inspecting it. Again, I got the orange scale, which again, I'll be replacing shortly, but I will keep this as a backup, or I feel like if I go camping, I'll throw the orange back on, just because I used to have an orange fixed blade. It was an SC5 or 6. And I just associate orange knives with camping now, so I'll definitely keep that. But the bronze titanium here on the log side looks really nice. It does have a stone wash finish on the titanium and the blade. The blade is the spear point, and it does have the choil. They do make a no choil version, but it looks really nice. Hopefully the reflection isn't too bad to show you that stonewash finish. I'm a huge fan of stonewashed blades now. It's probably my favorite finish. In choosing a Hinderer model, there's so many variations of these things now that it's kind of hard to choose because you like them all, you know? But I was having a really hard time deciding between the spear point here and the Spanto, but it was a harpoon Spanto that I had the choice between. And I think if it was just the plain Spanto, I would have got that. But I went ahead and got the spear point because it's just such a great, you know, multi-use blade. The tip thickness is still very strong. I just couldn't get over that little bump in the harpoon Spanto. It just looked a little bit too mall ninja for my taste. But other things that come in the box are your spare washers for the tri-way pivot system in these new Gen 6s, of course, and the symbol is there on the flipper for the tri-way pivot system. So it comes installed with the bearing system, and I noticed that the bearings look a lot smaller. Like the actual race that holds the bearings is smaller in diameter than the KVT system in the Kershaw. I shouldn't say a lot smaller, but it seems to be smaller from what I remember. But you do have, again, the spare phosphor bronze and Teflon washers. The two stainless steel washer looking things in here are actually the fillers because the bearings are thicker, so they take up the extra space here if you want to use these washers instead. And besides your packing peanuts, you do get a sticker, a Hinderer sticker there, just a little card to tell you about the tri-way pivot, and hand assembled and tuned by card. I can't read that handwriting. Looks like Sean Lemasters, but pretty awesome. Again, my very first Hinderer. I am like super excited right now. So just to give you a side-by-side of this XM-18, and again, this is the 562. You can see there why they say this is the closest thing you can get to a real Hinderer in the ZT knife. It is slightly larger, by the way. So I do have some accessories that I'm going to throw on the knife. I got this OD green scale. They call this the faux bolster because there's kind of like this line, and the texturing where the bolster is different. I just think it looks pretty neat, and it's kind of like a brownish green there. This OD green looks pretty nice. So I'll throw that on the knife there for my usual carry. And I also did get some brass standoffs for the back here. And I think I'm gonna leave the hardware stainless for now. I was thinking about making it all either brass or bronze titanium anodized, but I kind of like the contrast with the stainless, especially on this side here with the bronze. You can see I got bronze titanium anodized hardware for my 562, so I already have it on this knife. I didn't really want to duplicate that, although I did get purple standoffs for this guy. But yeah, I'm just kind of still inspecting it here. I'm just almost, I can't believe that I finally have my own XM-18. Again, the bearings make this thing basically fall into the closed position by itself, which is pretty neat. They do feel really smooth. I dare say smoother than the bearings in the 562, although they're both incredibly smooth knives, to be honest. So the Gen 6 here does have the steel insert for the lock bar, which is really good for well, preventing lock stick as well as just the wear characteristics. So it's not titanium on steel. The steel of the blade is CPM 20 CV. It's my first 20 CV blade, but I have had a couple M390s before, which I believe are pretty similar in terms of their properties. But again, always interesting trying a new steel for the first time. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pop on these accessories I bought. It shouldn't be too bad. there it is, the XM-18 customized, at least for now, OD green faux bolster G10 scale. Again, here's the original orange one. And these are the original steel standoffs that I replaced with the brass, which will start to tarnish and patina, give it a bit of character, which will look really nice. Again, the more I look at it, the more I actually really like the stainless hardware here, in contrast to the bronze and the OD. Taking this apart, by the way, you can just really tell the machining quality on the hardware and stuff is just absolutely perfect. Everything fits really, really nicely. Just the machining tolerances are excellent. The bearings make this thing feel great, obviously. It's like very, very freely pivoting, but when it locks up, there's absolutely no blade play at all. And all in all, I mean, the Hinderer is everything I thought it would be. So I'm very excited to get some pocket time in this. By the way, I got the brass spacers here because I'm probably going to do the same thing as I did to the 562 here and put the back of a casing as the lock bar stabilizer. I made this myself. This one is a 9mm. This is just cheap Blazer ammo I had, but I just cut off the back of a spent casing and used that as the lock bar stabilizer. This one looks like it might be smaller in diameter, so I might have to use like a 223 or a 556 casing. But either way, awesome knife. I don't even know why I'm showing the 562 right now. It's about the XM-18. My first XM-18, the shape of the XM to me is just so iconic. Again, almost like growing up with this thing basically, and having my first XM, my first real Hinderer knife in person is really exciting. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a bunch of stuff with it now. I don't know if I'm gonna do a review on it later down the road just because there's so many reviews on these knives. I more or less just wanted to document my initial impressions of the knife, which is just top notch. I do have one more custom part for this knife coming to me in the mail, but it's not a Hinderer part, it's a third-party thing I found. So anyway, not my normal video, and I'm sure it was a bit rambly, but this is a very special moment for myself, and I thought I would share it for anyone who was interested. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video, and take care.